So another one from another anonymous attendee. Is Magento 2 safer than Magento 1? Should I make the move?
I'd say it's difficult to say whether it's safer or not, simply because any framework out there will have potentially a vulnerability somewhere. Like I mentioned earlier, it all comes down to, as long as you're installing those updates and those patches when they come out, you're making sure that your environment is more secure. Obviously, I know with Magento 1 there's an end of life date I'm not too sure whether it's this year or next year, because I know we had a similar question. Well, I've had similar questions raised by my clients, and again, there's nothing insecure about the Magento 1 branch, as long as you're up to date and you're patched with what's available.
It's the thing that we keep finding in the market is every time we put out statistical data about Magento being the most targeted platform, every one of Magento's big competitors grabs that data and sort of shouts it from the rooftop. And the problem is, it's not Magento that's the problem. So the question is, don't know who's asked it, whether you're a developer or a website owner, but asking whether Magento 1 is more secure than Magento 2. Well, you would think that Magento 2 is going to have more features built into it, but it's actually how you manage your site. It's not Magento that's the problem in all these cases that we investigate. It's actually the way the site's managed.
It's more the implementation of the solution itself.
Yeah.
I know Magento have put a lot of work into Magento 2 to redesign how the underlying bits operate in the background. So it's one of those things where at some point you will have to move to Magento 2 regardless, because of the end of life on Magento 1. And at that point it's one of those things where, okay, well, yes, we would always recommend you are using the most latest version available, because again, I think it's been touched upon previously that within PCI DSS, it does state that you need to install critical patches or updates within 1 month of release. So again, if your version of Magento is now end of life, and there's a new one that's up to date and current and supported for security features, and again, it's time to take that bump. But with regards to, is one safer than the other? I suppose it's apple and oranges.
It's how you manage it.
Exactly.
If you are on Magento 1 and you're not managing the patching, and you're not sort of managing your users, etc., and you move to Magento 2 and you're not managing the patching, you're going to be just as insecure. You're going to be compromised. So it's about the management. It's not so much about whether Magento is good or not and which version of Magento.
Exactly. And again, it's like Ben's touched upon earlier. It's just the sheer volume of people using the Magento framework is why it's so the popularity is there, and why it's I suppose targeted so much. And again, you can say the difference between branch 1 and branch 2. For the attackers, there's a lot more people using branch 1 than they are branch 2. Exactly. So that's why the focus is there. I can assure you that when the end of life comes in and Magento 1's dying off, Magento 2's going up, the focus will change there. Unfortunately, it's just trends.
But you also see, as other platforms become more popular, something like Shopware, for example, as that gains popularity, they will start targeting that platform. And then it comes down to how well that platform is being managed by the developers who manage the site. So hopefully that's answered the question. It's management.
Yeah, it's all about implementation and management, and making sure that your environment is as secure as it can possibly be, so that you can still do what you need to do, but basically help prevent an attacker from doing what they want to do.